And we are live.
Wayne's World,
Woo.
party time, excellent. I can't do the fucking, I can't mouth guitar, but hey everyone, it's Ultra Podcast Z, the podcast where we, god damn it, I can't think of something. I was gonna think of something clever on the top of my head, like just random ass shit, and nothing came to my head. The podcast where our heads are empty, the Empty Head podcast.
I think it's already taken, Manuel.
No thought.
I'm assuming head empty is probably already taken.
Well, no thoughts. I wonder if it's if both spellings are taken. I would like both spellings, please. No thoughts and no thoughts. And the ironic thing about no thoughts is I'm going to intro ourselves. We're like, hey, I'm Thought Manual. You know. I remember. Sorry, I had to tell this story real fast. I remember when I was in college the last time when I was like graduating from history shit. This is like 10 years ago still. Goddamn, time's stupid.
Manuel, why do you have to take history courses? You lived through it.
Time is very stupid.
Fuck you. But I remember like one of my history teachers, professor dudes, I can't remember which class it was. It was something Western American history though. But anyways, I remember he would always have these random anecdotes, and one of the anecdotes he told us was like he was having and he was kind of young. He was like in his like early 40s. He's not like a really old professor, but he was having one of those discussions just like kids these days with their slang. And he was talking about like how his son kept using the word thought. And he's like, do you guys know what that word means? And of course everyone knows what the word thought means. Even Boomer Manuel knew what that word means. He's all like, for weeks I thought that my son was just being very like, introspective. He's like, oh, that girl's a thought. Like, that girl is like makes me think. He didn't know until like I think he told his wife or someone, or he told his like daughter or something like that, his other child. And the child's like, no, that means that hoe over there. So yeah, I don't know if you actually, yes, and I am a hoe. Hey everyone, I'm Manuel the hoe, and joining me is the other hoe named Josh Fotaku.
I mean, he has it in his
I'm
name.
known as Hortaku, but I've given that life up.
You've given that life up. It's a hard life to. I remember when we were, we were watching like a bunch of cheap movies at Sin City Anime, like as we do. Like I'll leave on like Tubi or something, like one of those free streaming services. And I went to go take a shower. When I came out, everyone's like, "Manuel, you missed the best line ever!" Like rewind it. I just missed it. So we went back a little bit further, and it was like, it was some cop movie from like the 80s that I'm sure like no one saw because it's on Tubi. But this cop goes into like this cheap hotel room to go find some prostitute that he's gonna like get information from. And when he goes in there, she's all like the neon lights of the city make my pussy hair glow in the dark.
What?
That was the line
What? Oh my god!
In the world?
Why?
Just straight up like that, and we all just started laughing. And it was funny because I heard them laugh when I was in the shower, because it was one of those stupid showers that only has a sliding door, so there was not a real door, so you could just hear everything with like both sides of that. And I was like, what the fuck are they laughing about over there? And yeah, that was the line, and we kept repeating that the rest of the con. Like that was our line of that con because it was so wacky.
That was your mom.
Yeah, and then, I wish I remembered what movie that was. Maybe if I Wikipedia, maybe if I Google that line, it'll come up. But but yeah, we can't. I have no idea. It just came on after like some other random movie we were watching. I think that was when we watched Willy's Wonderland because that was on Tubi as well. And then like 3 movies later, that came on. Anyways, yeah, Ultra Podcast Z. I'm hoping that we can do the shit we were gonna do last week, where we went off on tangents, but we supposed to actually go over the year in review, like all the crazy shit that happened. The is the actor and writer strike? Which one of them still ongoing, or are they both over?
I think we're still in the period where we don't know if the actor strike is over.
The writers one's been resolved though.
Yeah, the writers one's resolved. The SAG, I think they're still in the voting process.
Because I keep seeing mixed news whether they're both on. I know that a bunch of things are still are back in production. Like I know I saw a teaser for the new not Game of Thrones,
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. Yeah, House of the Dragon, and I'm like, God damn it, when the fuck's that gonna come out? I fucking hate the way streaming is done these days. How the fuck is Stranger Things still not being like? How is it not done? Everyone's like 30.
If you
Well, I think most of it was done before, or at least not Stranger Things. That House of the Dragon season 2. I think a lot of that was done before the strike. I will correct
Yeah.
if I'm wrong. I'll put up the correction right here in the VOD.
You actually are right, because I remember talking about that when we did the House of the Dragon versus Rings of Power, because they both were approved for like second seasons.
They sound
but
really low.
who?
Hello?
I tried to up your volume on Discord, so hopefully you'll sound better.
Let me see.
Oh.
I can also turn on the. I'm gonna have like double.
Oh, you see, you sound
hearing
better
and stuff.
now. No, I'm listening to it back now.
Oh, wow,
you
I'm
sound a lot better.
low. I'm really surprised.
Yeah,
no,
it's
don't
been
worry,
an-
I don't know why I'm low on my end. That's really weird.
But did you hear about the Scream nonsense that's going on right now, Josh?
Oh yeah, the Scream nonsense that's going on because of something very, very simple. Like, for real, I don't understand. Like, all Melissa said was free Palestine. Okay, saying free Palestine for all of the people that are already big
Oh,
brain, you
for
understand
yeah.
this. But they understand this. For anybody who watches that doesn't completely understand, free Palestine is not anti-Semitic. It is not a dog whistle. This is just simply us saying that it does feel that it was genuinely stupid that the UN felt that they were going to mask a reparation move by giving the Jews Israel as a way of saying we're sorry for how fucked up things got during World War II, and we totally aren't doing it because we don't want to, allow these refugees to, find a different place in Europe, like because of they said that the migration and trying to account for everything would just be way too difficult. So instead of just having all these Jews just kind of like, show up everywhere, we'll just give them Israel. This was totally not the reason that we did it. We totally didn't do it to relocate a bunch of refugees
gonna say,
and
like,
prisoners of war, in a very half-failed attempt to put them somewhere saying like, yes, this is totally your holy land, despite the fact that even if they weren't, even if you didn't have another religious like related majority in any particular point, okay, like it wouldn't fucking matter if you literally just all of a sudden say this land is now no longer Palestine. That is genuinely dumb. It's like if you were to do that to anybody else and we agree that it is genuinely stupid, and I hope that it's like sounding like there, but I'll try to be sure. I'm not sure what TOS is for Twitch, but just genuinely, yeah,
No, I
because
mean,
Melissa just said, yeah.
That's the big thing. That's the big thing. Like, I don't think it's even our place to get into any more of the deeper specifics of this, and I don't think we should anyway. Honestly, I'll be real with you. I agree with everything Josh said so far, because I have my views on like how weird some of this shit was when it was done back in the day, but I honestly don't know enough about to even have a proper viewpoint on anything going on now. Don't kill civilians. That seems like an easy thing to say. Like,
that's all Melissa was saying. She was like, yes, maybe if there's gonna be this continual violent bullshit going on and realistically it was just done
don't
out
kill
of an
civilians, like-
unjustified occupation, then free Palestine.
But
Don't let people die.
AJ's gonna get canceled next. No, but like, I find that funny that she, like, honestly, like I said, there's some people saying some far more extreme things that just kind of just coast on by, and then but yeah, they removed her from what's her name? I forget her name off the top of my head.
Melissa
So obviously,
Beretta.
I
there you
forget her
go,
last
Melissa
name.
Beretta. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was the one that plays Billy Loomis's daughter.
Yeah, she's
yes,
like a
yeah.
whole ass main character.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
know?
Like they almost like obviously the ending is like she's not going to be the killer, but I hope she is in the next one. But like
I definitely agree. Katsu Rose. They're saying war is written in human nature / history. I'm pretty sure it's just really funny timing how like with the ending, the anime ending at least of Attack on Titan coming out around this time, and even with its epilogue, like just straight up, Delulu God, I hear actual Jewish survivors are treated pretty badly
Yep.
in Israel. Bruh, I'm pretty sure the actual Jewish survivors pretty look at Netanyahu and they're kind of like, bruh, you're
Oh,
doing
God,
actual war
Yeah.
crimes. And then
Yeah.
Netanyahu probably goes up to them and fucking like trips them over and is like, recover from that, you fossil, and I'm gonna genocide all these people and you can't do shit about it. And
Oh, we're
it's
getting
like,
more controversial now.
Well-
Anyway, but yeah, there. I don't want to get kicked off of Scream 7 also for I'm just kidding.
You're not on Scream 7.
I was that was my secret. No, I'm just kidding. But no, and then Jenna Ortega left supposedly because it was conflicting with Wednesday 2, season 2. But I'm like, let's be real here. She probably just it's
She
it's
wanted
in
any reason out.
Yeah, it was probably in solidarity, and she was probably just like, yeah, I'm gonna dip too, and it's
Yeah.
the right time, and she's probably not smart enough, but I think she realizes that if she says anything in solidarity, she'll probably just get lumped in and like have some trouble probably on Wednesday, at that point also.
It's very much it's very much the vibes are fucked type of situation with all of it. But I genuinely just taking the politics out for a second, you have your two main leads, like they're supposed to be related to each other, and there was, for the people that still followed up with Scream, like a lot of people were starting to do the whole speculation about like, oh, can a certain character come back? I had my fan theory about like the mom of these characters is maybe she's in the first Scream movie. And now all that doesn't matter because they're gone. Like they're just gone. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna like just be like, yeah, we're gonna have a movie and it's gonna still include Randy's kids? And I'm just kind of
Well,
like,
they keep
that's like making
implying-
Jack's weapon.
They keep implying that what the fuck is that character's name? Not Billy Loomis, the other dude.
Stu?
Yeah,
Stu.
Stu. They keep implying that he's
they're-
still alive. So like,
Yeah, but even if he's alive, nothing here matters because you pretty much got rid of the people that are like gonna have some emotional through line
Exactly.
there. And it's like, this is literally just like, hey, you know what would be cool? Let's keep making Pirates movies with Captain Jack Sparrow, despite the fact that Captain Jack Sparrow, much like these twin characters, they're not the main characters. They're supposed to be there to alleviate it when things get fucking serious, maybe be a wild card, but like they're not supposed to actually hold a movie together. That's why all those movies that came afterwards with just Jack Sparrow didn't do so hot.
oh,
I mean, they also had different writers, but
Well,
like,
there was one that adapted that one book
On
was it
Stranger
At World's
Tides.
End? On Stranger Tides. There you go. That
Yeah.
pisses me off, not because I didn't like the movie. It actually was all right, but that pissed me off because I loved On Stranger Tides the book, and like now I don't know if Disney owns that or whatever the fuck, but now we're never gonna see an actual On Stranger Tides adaptation because fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm like, fuck you guys. You could have made your own movie. Anyways,
yeah, but no, it's just not good. All of this, I do agree. It's very,
I think
very like,
yeah, I think the streak is ending either way. The whole streak of like the consistently good franchise. I don't
Yeah.
the good stuff is
Well,
just not
we
there.
made 6 movies. There are lots of horror franchises that only made to like 2. So
I know. So there you go. It's like I'm pretty sure no matter what happens. I mean, like I was saying this before we went live. No matter what the movie does, they can apologize to everyone and try to get everyone back on board. I don't know if anyone would come back, especially Jenna Ortega, especially because her reason technically had nothing to do with anything that was going on. But if
We
they
do
bring-
have someone saying that they'll come back for more Pirates movies if Captain Jack Sparrow is there.
What? Why? I don't. I personally, I have a love-hate relationship with Johnny Depp, but that has nothing to do with the Amber Heard thing, by the way. I've always had a love-hate relationship.
Now
with Johnny
you're
Depp.
actually gonna get canceled. Now you're
Yeah,
actually
I'm
gonna get
not-
canceled. How
yeah.
dare you?
You
just
We
keep
already got
keep
past
going,
the
man.
Johnny
Keep going,
Depp
keep
was
going.
Canceled era, and you want to go back there.
I just
don't
want to
know
point
why
out.
you
I
wanna
just
do
want to
this.
point out that it has nothing to do with the Amber Heard stuff. So I'm not. This has nothing to do with that. I just never liked him that much in his post Pirates career. I loved him in Edward Scissorhands. I loved him in Nightmare on Elm Street when he gets becomes a blood splatter.
oh yeah, that was
But,
cool.
You say that like you knew who he was. That's just
That was
a
his
fun
first movie.
kickback. Nobody.
It was his first movie, and I've seen that movie like okay. I've seen that movie more than I've seen any other movie he's been in combined. Like because I've seen that movie like
Everyone
dozens of times.
knows. Everyone knows Johnny Depp. That might have been his first movie, but everybody knows that he didn't exist until he showed up in a Tim Burton thing.
Well, yeah, like I said, Edward Scissorhands is my favorite. I've also seen him in Benny and the one where he does the thing with the fucking potatoes that like the the one that has that song, the 2000 I would walk 1,000
Oh
miles
shit, he
song
was
in
in
it.
Cry Baby.
Yeah, he was in Crybaby. I forgot about that one. The John Waters movie, I believe. But yeah, I've seen him in a lot of shit. It's just like, but then I wasn't a huge fan of him in Pirates, which is funny because like when I was like younger drunk manual, because believe it or not, I had this big sober period of my life. Everyone's like, oh, you would love him because he's always drunk and always like, where's the rum or whatever the fuck he says. And I'm like, I find him so one note. Jack Sparrow, that is.
But
I find him
point
so
though.
one note.
He's supposed to just be like comedic relief. He's supposed to be the thing you can't fully pinpoint on. That's why Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley had the characters that had a lot more depth. And later it was the guy that Keira Knightley was supposed to like marry in that movie, then he became like a very prominent
yeah.
character. But like again, Jack Sparrow is none of those things because he's supposed to just be his best arc. His best arc was supposed to be him accepting death in the second movie. Like that's as one dimensional as he needed to be, and that's it because he would have let them all die. But that's just because he's literally the character who only cares for himself. He wasn't supposed to be anything greater than that. He's a mover and shaker without intentionally wanting to be so. But yeah, it's I will agree with that. Like if you're saying he's one note, yeah, he was supposed to be one note.
And like, mind you, that character is one note. I have other reasons I just don't like him that much. I hate what he's kind of like done to Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Is that
Sweeney Todd?
Yeah, there you go. I'm like, what the fuck is that musical called? For the record, I want everyone to know that existed before.
No, it didn't exist. It didn't exist. You can't just say like, oh, you know what you sound like? You sound like the people who are like, oh my gosh, nobody cares about SAO. We only care about what's that one? Not Hack. There was another one made by the same person. It's the same universe.
Oh, Excel World.
Excel World. You're sounding like them. You're sounding like, oh, Excel World's better. Excel World's all this like stuff. It was clearly like it's a more superior version. It existed here, and it's just kind of like, I'm sorry.
Sweeney Todd, the movie, is one of those things, kind of like Little Shop of Horrors. Well, I'm a musical person, so I can go on about this for days, and I'll try to keep this short. But kind of the way Little Shop of Horrors and Rocky Horror Show have been transformed because the movie versions are far more popular than the musicals that came before it were. Grease is another good example.
I will agree. Yeah, same thing. I haven't agreed to.
I unfortunately never got a chance to see Sweeney Todd before in person, at least before the movie.
I don't like that he ruined it for you. Like
he did, because if you go fucking watch it now, everyone is here. Everyone's doing a poor man's Johnny Depp impression, and it's just like, oh my god, you're not playing Johnny Depp playing Sweeney Todd. You're playing Sweeney Todd, and shit like that. Like, and mind you, that doesn't go to everything I just said, because obviously if you want to talk about, go back to Rocky Horror, like Tim Curry originated that role, so he's in the movie. Yeah, everyone can go fucking be a poor man's Tim Curry, as much as you want, but you don't have to be a fucking poor man's Sweeney Todd.
I want to say thank you for being here, Decepticiden, and the Lulu God is literally just saying that Jack is greater than Luffy. You can't, no, there might have been a time where you could have said like, oh, okay, like even though like One Piece was a 90s thing, but you could be kind of like, yeah, I like Captain Jack more than rubber ass Luffy, but I'm just going to be like, you can't say that anymore because Luffy has hit Gear 5. When he ascended to Gear 5, we had reached what we thought would be the end, and literally like we only have like 1 month before the final year of One Piece.
We'll keep telling ourselves that. I say we're about maybe 3 years at best.
I like how everyone's
we are now in the end game.
I will say, speaking of musicals he was in, I think he was all right in Into the Woods. That was him, right? He was the wolf, even though he was in the movie like 3 seconds, because like that character was like truncated in the movie. But
he didn't have
he didn't have his giant penis though. And fun fact, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go Google Into the Woods giant werewolf penis.
Sweeney Todd is the best movie. We're literally just counting it out right there, okay? Because Johnny Depp and Bella Lestrange are like so. Oh my god.
I love Sweeney Todd the musical. Sondheim is a fucking what's the word I'm looking for? He's an overlooked genius. Like somebody did a video. I think it was Waiting in the Wings. Did a video recently. Like, why does Sondheim always fail? Because typically their musicals always fail. Well, commercially, but then they kind of become cult classics. And I hate just. And I think Sondheim was alive for. Actually, I know Sondheim was alive for Sweeney Todd, and I wonder what he had to say about it. I'm gonna go Google that later on. I hope he hated it because I did. Okay,
He's gonna be
okay,
Scorsese about it. It's like,
okay.
Yes, he was. He only died in 2021.
Exactly. I'm like, oh wait, he lived that long?
Yeah, he was
Oops.
alive for Into the Woods. He wrote new music for it or something.
I thought he died for Into the Woods. I could have sworn that's the whole reason I said this. I'm like, I don't remember when Into the Woods came out, but in my head, in my poor little fucking Mandela affected head, I thought he died in Into the Woods. That's why I didn't want to keep going that route. And I'm like, Sweeney Todd definitely came first. I saw that when I was really young. I don't know. See, the problem with Sweeney Todd, in my opinion, was that it was too Tim Burton-y. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, there's a wackiness to him that I feel it's an acquired taste.
It's a very gothic.
Yes,
And
but like
it perspires into everything. It was in Batman. It was in The Nightmare Before Christmas.
He didn't direct
Sweeney
that.
Todd. It was also in Alice in Wonderland live actions.
Okay, did anyone
yeah.
like Alice? I think we could all agree that Alice is bad.
I don't know, Manuel. It
What?
made a lot of
What
archives, so there are
did you
probably some
say?
people who
I want
disagree with you.
I don't think I heard you. What did you say?
Alice in Wonderland was bad, and I agree
What?
that I love Sweeney Todd the musical. So part of me will still always watch the Sweeney Todd the movie just because it's the easiest way to watch the musical. Like
You cannot. We need to
easily.
dial it back. You cannot tell me that anything Alice in Wonderland was bad.
People
Nothing
like
Alice
that
in
movie. I
Wonderland
thought
was
everyone
ever
I thought that
bad.
was Universal.
What? No.
I thought this was Universal. That
No.
no one liked the Alice in Wonderland movie.
If Alice in Wonderland live action was bad, we wouldn't have any of the other live action movies that exist.
Oz, the Great and Powerful. Fuck that movie too.
Actually, that's Sam Raimi, though.
No,
I know, but I'm just saying, that one comes to mind immediately as like the movies that
I'm
are
talking about
are
all
like,
the Disney live actions exist because of Alice in Wonderland.
oh wait, well, does that count as a Disney live action?
That is literally
Was it Disney?
It was under Disney. when
It was a
came out.
Disney movie. That's why the Wicked Witch of the West is a slightly different color, just because I think that green skin is part of like presentation copyright.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, you cannot talk to me about this. Okay, have your biases against Johnny Depp all you will, but you are talking to an Alice in Wonderland stan, and I will not let you speak of this.
Alice in Wonderland.
okay,
is great
hey,
because of
Manuel.
Johnny Depp. What?
Remember when we were talking? We
fuck
promised we would talk about this year.
No, I need to. Okay, hold on.
Well,
I'll come
look
back.
at
This kind of ties in because they're coming out with a new one. Like, we can agree that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was bad, right?
I like it.
We're not even talking about Disney.
No, but it's
No,
Johnny
you still-
Depp.
I like it.
It's Johnny
Charlie
Depp, and isn't it also Tim Burton too for the record?
Yes,
But it's Johnny Depp.
I like his interpretation. It's definitely not.
His interpretation.
It's definitely not what Gene Wilder was going for, but I think it's an interesting interpretation that really fits his kind of style.
What does Decepticons say that they liked? Because I was bringing up.
I'm
Alice in Wonderland,
assuming
but
they
I was
mean
thinking about
Johnny
Charlie
Depp
and the
as
Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's a terrible Willy Wonka. I fucking hate. I hated that movie, and I was not the right age for that because I was a little too old. But I did watch that one in theaters. I remember because I liked the original.
Yes.
And I was
okay.
like,
Yes.
and I was like, oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. And his character's so wacky. Well, the movie's bad in general. But going back to Johnny Depp himself, and he's not one note there. I will give him that. He is not doing, at least in my opinion, because I have heard some people say this. He's not just doing Jack Sparrow, but different. He is doing fucking
Michael
Willy
Jackson.
Wonka. Yeah, but he's doing weird Willy Wonka, like creepy Willy Wonka, like nightmare fuel Willy Wonka. Like, what the hell was that character? Like, that was not. Yeah,
That
Gene-
character was he was a character that was heavily traumatized by his dentist dad, who said that his particular joys were denial. And
No, Delulu gone. You're a little too Delulu right there because like the Tim Burton Charlie's better than the original. I don't know about that.
Okay, but where does the Tom and Jerry Charlie and the Chocolate Factory rank with this one?
Oh my god, I watched that I watched this a while ago, but like I watched it kind of recently during the pandemic at some point. I didn't realize it was like an actual remake of the fucking what you call it one because it had the fucking crazy scene in the boat and everything that
Mhm.
like
the Wilder version, right?
yeah, I didn't realize
Gene
that.
Wilder.
I liked it. I liked the Tom and honestly, I think the Tom and Jerry one's the easiest to watch today, in my opinion, because there's parts of the original one I feel like just feel old time movie-y, where like I
That's
wouldn't
part
really
of the
want to watch
charm. It makes it timeless.
it. I don't know about that. Like it
Uh,
really hangs towards the end, like the original one. Like even as a kid, I was like, I'm gonna go out and play. This game boring. The last half hour of that movie when like everyone's dead. Well, the kids aren't dead, but you get what I'm saying. They're dead in my head. Veruca's fault
Um,
died.
okay, so we have that. Just before we lose too far the plot, I'm just trying to like see how far we get back into this. I guess we're on the Johnny Depp train. That's why we're riding
Oh yeah,
through
let's get
all of
back.
this right now.
What brought this up? Oh, Scream 7. How did we give Scream 7 to Johnny
I
Depp
have-
for fucking everything else? Did you guys know there was a live action? Well, first of all, they're making a Disney live action Tarzan. But did you know that there was another live action Tarzan a few years ago? I did not know
Yes.
this.
You mean
With,
yeah, the one with Samuel L. Jackson in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
didn't
the
know-
he was A.U. Clayton, but not a bad guy.
Yeah, the only reason I knew about that because like they're talking about the new one that's coming out, and I'm like, okay, back up a minute, people. Not only is there a new one coming out, there was already another live action one recently, which I don't think was Disney though. I don't know,
Look,
maybe it was.
Disney had to fight for those rights back. They haven't had the rights to Tarzan since Kingdom Hearts 1.
Fuck you, Disney, for doing that shit. Tarzan should be in the public domain. And he technically is, because some of the books are in the public domain. Tarzan, no one's fighting that fight for reasons I don't know. But Winnie the Pooh, the way it went in the public domain, it's still kind of a little like iffy whether it is or isn't. But Tarzan should have been a long time ago.
Well, there's a different family that holds the rights to Tarzan.
Well, it's Edgar Rice Burroughs, but okay. Fun fact: the same way how all of Lovecraft's work should be in the public domain, but the way that the families are fighting it is because some of the works weren't published within their lifetime. So, like now they're like, oh, this story was published in 1959, so that's where the thing starts, and it's like, bro, he was dead for so long by that point. You can't do that. Obviously, it
Also,
says otherwise.
The 2016 film.
Let's just be grateful that Sir Conan Doyle was able to show up in Fate Grand Order and be an absolute fucking unit. And we're glad that we can get so many iterations of the Mouse Detective.
Wait,
Because
hold
we
on,
all love the Mouse Detective, right?
I gotta hear what JD was gonna say about the
Yes,
2016.
the 2016 film, The Legend of Tarzan, was released by Warner Brothers, not
Okay,
Disney.
so yeah, it wasn't.
Alexander
yeah,
Skarsgård.
The Tarzan, that's who's in it, and that's the only reason because I think I saw it because they were just talking about like I guess they're dating the two people, or they were at some point the two mains from that movie, Skarsgård and whoever the fuck the girl was, and I was like, I didn't know that came out. By the way, I used to love Tarzan growing up, the books. And I used to read them all the time. Edgar Rice Burroughs is the fucking god. Also, the fucking John Carter series, most of that's in the public domain, and Disney's been fighting tooth and nail for that. I know they don't care about it anymore because the John Carter movie like
Dude,
was one
they
of the
didn't
worst
have
flops of all time.
They only had one movie, 2013.
Princess of Mars is in the public domain. And that's why their fucking movie's called John Carter, which is stupid. But anyway, but because they called their movie that, they're trying to claim that John Carter is theirs now. It is this whole bullshit. Like I fucking hate Disney what they're doing with copyright. But anyways, if you ever every so often, I'll see that tweet, that very famous tweet. I'm sure you guys have all seen this at some point, where it asks the question that everyone's wondering whether or not Tarzan ever had like monkey sex, before he realized he was human.
We're gonna sidetrack from AIDS to give you Tarzan should belong to Phil Collins for how hard he went on the soundtrack.
Okay, Phil Collins is amazing, and I do love the Tarzan soundtrack.
I actually have that soundtrack. I fucking love it.
Fun fact, because I don't consider, because Tarzan isn't a musical like some of the others. Tarzan is because obviously Little Mermaid and like they're all escape me now, Aladdin and so on, or actual musicals.
Yeah.
So I don't count those in the same camp. But if you musicals aside, I think Tarzan has the best soundtrack for any Disney. Is that still Renaissance? Disney Renaissance movie. If not, I'm still calling it that.
I think it's the tail end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the tail end of the Disney Renaissance. So that definitely is the best soundtrack of the non-musical Renaissance movies. But
Okay, wait, hold on. We were gonna be talking about songs and ranking them, but since we have engaged this, I just want I think it would be cool. We're talking the Disney Renaissance, with the only exception being the
Okay.
Rescuers Down Under, because those motherfuckers didn't put a song in that one. So they put a background song, but that doesn't count.
Does anyone want to guess what my favorite Disney Renaissance song is going to be? Because I think I've said it before.
We're gonna start with The Little Mermaid.
Yep.
It's gonna be a part of your world. Let's go.
Yep. I was gonna say that's gonna be the first one, just without even trying. That's it. That's it. And I'll say this right now: it is leaps. Yeah, it is leaps and bounds above anything else I'm going to talk about. A Part of Your World is like one of my favorite songs of all time, one of my favorite musical songs of all time, and easily, without even like hesitation, is my favorite Disney Renaissance.
It's just Somewhere That's Green, but about being underwater, Manuel.
Fuck you, and you're actually not wrong.
I'm just really glad that we're changing where we're
I have no idea what that means, but I've been trained to say it.
The monkey.
No, for those who don't know, I like how JD doesn't know, he just said it. For those who don't know, Little Shop of Horrors and Little Mermaid and Aladdin, well, technically the original Aladdin, not Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast were all written by the same duo of Alan Menken and
Howard Ashman.
And in Little Shop of Horrors, there's a song called Somewhere That's Green, and the whole thing is like, you know, the main character, she's like supposed to be like some like, you know, not streetwalk, but like, you know, just sleeping around city girl or whatever the fuck, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But she's dreaming of a domestic life where she's married with kids with a white picket fence, and there's a song called Somewhere That's Green, and she's just like, this Somewhere That's Green but in the water or whatever. Fuck you. And there actually are a lot of similarities between that song, but I actually don't like Somewhere That's Green a lot. I love Little Shop of Horrors, cannot stand Somewhere That's
Yes,
Green.
I know you love Suddenly Seymour.
Oh, Suddenly Seymour. Oh, if that was the Disney thing, that would top every list. Anyways, beyond that, I think it would be. I think we jump to Aladdin next. It would be like
no, Beauty and the Beast was next. I think.
No, you're right. It is Beauty and the Beast, and then it's Aladdin, and then it's Lion King after that.
Yeah.
Oh god. This
So
is
okay, so Beauty and the Beast. For me, it's the mob song.
Yes,
Beauty and
someone
the
who
Beast.
agrees with me.
Because no, it's like it's so good, and it even predates the Savages song in Pocahontas, which just
without
gives
being as
Pocahontas
problematic. Yeah.
another L.
But yeah.
And I really like. I really like the mob song both in the original version. I think it's a lot better because of the Gaston. It's just better in the original version than necessarily in the live action. But I do like when they add the particular lines to "There's a beast running," which is also in the musical version. You know, there's a beast running wild. There's no question, but I fear that the wrong I'm not sure monster or something is released or so, but even then, just the first one is just so good with that one. It's like literally you have a whole characterized village of being ignorant AF, and that theme slaps so hard.
It's funny. I've never thought about that song much. I guess it's good. My favorite's still Belle, the opening song.
That is also a very good song. There's probably not a bad song on that soundtrack.
Yeah, I just like it because I like ensemble number. You know, we're talking about different, like, you know, apples and oranges, comparing like something like Belle to A Part of Your World. But as far as ensemble songs, Belle's a really good one, and it kind of goes all over the place and does its job introducing everyone. Well, you know, a lot of concepts, so it works. I really like that song. It's also the only song I think I know from memory. From Beauty and the Beast, as in like I could sing the whole thing if I just was, you know, just wanted to right now off the top of my head. Like the mob, I feel like I would have a little bit more trouble. I think Aladdin's a bit harder. Aladdin's a funny one because there's some songs in the musical that I like more than anything. the Prince Ali from the
Well, it's hard
musicals.
because the musical adds so much extra stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jasmine has a song called "These Palace Walls," which is different than the one she has in the live action movie.
Yeah.
because that's also new. But "These Palace Walls" is one of my favorite songs, even though a friend of mine says it's a stupid melody. But I don't know. One Step
Uncultured.
Ahead, A Whole New World. There's some good songs there. It's like, what do you like? I feel cheesy picking A Whole New World because that's like another like ballady type song.
It's
But
a really good song too. Like, who wouldn't want to be, as Ultron did during the what's it called? It was funny because they were taking a lot
Notre
of
Dame
like
is in
it was funny because they were taking a lot of the in the what's it called? I think it's called How It Should Have Ended or something like that. They were
Mhm.
making fun of the trailer for Ultron. So they were having him just sing like a bunch of different lyrics and they were saying like, why is it that when it comes out of your mouth it's so creepy? So literally one of the last things he says is, I can show you the world.
I
was
can
like,
show you the
oh.
world. Something splendor.
Where
I
Splendid.
everything- the only thing left breathing will be metal.
Yeah, Jasmine's new song is really good too from the movie. It's actually the only thing I like from that live action movie. Is Jasmine's new
Speechless
song.
is great. I just hate
Um,
how 2 seconds after that song, everything is undermined afterwards. That's the only thing I don't like about it, because otherwise it's like, yeah, Speechless is amazing. I just hate how it doesn't matter.
but the musical has a much better version of Prince Ali, in my opinion, because in the movie and in all the movies, I guess, and all the live action and the cartoon ones, it's just the genie. But in the musical, it's the genie. Well, first of all, it's the genie who starts it, but then it's Aladdin's friends also singing, like Babkak, Omar, and
Yes.
Kasim. So like, first of all, it's longer. There's a lot more verses and shit like that. But it's a lot more of a trade-off where like, not only is the genie like obviously like genifying like making Aladdin a prince, but his homies are just like going ham on it too. Like,
Okay,
yeah.
that's not the version they did in front of the Thanksgiving Day parade, because that version
What?
I did not like. I love the original animation version. It's probably one of, if not my favorite song on that soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I mean Robin Williams will like fucking he owns that song.
Yeah, I mean he owns
But,
both his numbers, honestly. Yeah, both of his. It's
Well, he also sings the opening one too.
no, it's not
the-
him. It's
Are
I
you
think
talking
Bob
about
Adler.
Ferngully?
Oh, it's not him singing the opening.
No, he's not. He voices the merchant in the opening, but he's not the one singing.
Oh, because in the musical, it's been a while since I heard the whole Disney soundtrack. In the musical, that's the genie too.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was supposed to be the genie originally, and if you
Yeah, so that's the
consider
genie.
like Aladdin, was it Prince of Thieves to be like the conclusion, it does reveal that he is the genie at the end. It finally gets back to that frame story.
Rest in peace, Robin Williams. But
yeah.
I would say I'm torn when it comes to between Prince Ali and what's it called? One Jump.
One Jump Ahead.
One jump.
Yeah,
One jump. ahead.
So
Oh,
what would
I
it be
think
for Lion
he's
King?
rather juicy. Lion King. Okay, Lion King is Oh God.
Are we
I just
counting
can't wait
only
to
the
be-
versions that are sung in the movie, or do we include the rest of the soundtrack
Yeah,
too?
let's go with in movie.
Are
Let's
we
go
gonna,
with in
do
movie.
Morning Report? Is that what you're gonna say?
No,
No one likes Morning Report.
I like the song that I've heard. I don't know if it's I think it's the stage version that I've heard though. What was I gonna say? Manu go Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah,
When
but-
I was a young warthog.
When
He was a young.
Oh wait, actually, I did it backwards. Yeah, never mind. I did that backwards.
Yeah, actually, you
He
did
was
it-
a young. Damn it!
When- yeah.
And then he does a.
When I was a young warthog. Yes, I was also going to say I just do like Elton John's own rendition of "Can You Feel the Love Tonight."
See, I don't like "Can You Feel the Love Tonight," and I don't think it's a bad song. I just don't. I'm
Elton
very
John.
indifferent towards it.
Elton John
Can
walked.
you feel
The love.
So
Yeah.
Phil Collins can run.
Yes.
I was gonna say that. Oh.
Mine has gotta be. Wait, no, you still haven't said. Which is your favorite?
Oh, wait. I thought
Manu,
I
I'd like
said-
to update mine. Be
I said
prepared.
Might be the just
Damn
can't wait
it!
to be king.
JD took it. But I agree with JD. Good taste.
Oh, well, Be Prepared's good too. Honestly, like the Lion King soundtrack, I feel like has some really great songs, but there's also a lot I don't like. Like I really don't like the Morning Report, which I think is they added into the movie later on, but it was a musical song. And I honestly I can't even remember many other songs off the top of my head. There's a lot of musical only ones that like okay, that's one that has all the musical only songs in my opinion aren't good. Um Also, speaking of musical only songs, there's one in Little Mermaid called Positivity, which is sung by the fucking seagull. That is like my least favorite song of any Disney musical of all time. I fucking hate it. I've seen Little Mermaid live on stage like several times, like like 10 times over the past few years, and I just fucking can't stand Positivity. Hate that song.
And positivity.
Positivity. It's actually called Positivity. 'Cause, I didn't.
Positivity.
Okay.
That's that seagull shtick that he always like says things weird, right? Isn't that his
Yeah.
shtick? Yeah,
I mean, like if he's like Megamind, right?
yeah.
Doing
Positivity.
atrocity, right?
Jafar in the live action. Oh yeah, I don't even remember who you see. I don't even remember the live action Jafar at all from Aladdin. So that goes to tell you how much I thought
They
of
were
that.
gonna give him an arc, and then they forgot, and then he was just boring.
Also, live action Emma Watson. She's auto tuned as fuck in
I mean, yeah, she
Beauty and the
is.
Beast. Like,
She is.
like embarrassingly so. Like,
I would say that, yeah, I don't think they needed to go as hard as they could. They probably could have practiced a bit more. I'm not saying that she was ever going to compare to the OG because the OG literally has done so much, but like
Yeah.
it does feel like they probably could have done a little bit better than hear the auto tune.
Yes, man. If you're checking, the stream did go down back now.
okay, yeah, I was about to say like, what just happened? Like, it came back. Hey everyone, oops.
Got canceled.
We didn't really
because-
say anything during that time, so we're good.
Two worlds,
okay.
one
I was-
family.
Say, okay, can we get back to 2023, or are there more movies we want to talk about?
Two worlds, one family.
Trust your
Do you
heart.
see? Wait, hold up. Let fate decide.
To guide these lights. Yes, Phil Collins killed that soundtrack. I think we can all agree about that.
Oh, okay. I remember.
That's great.
Sorry, the whole reason I brought up Tarzan too is I was going to mention that question about whether Tarzan had sex with a monkey. And
Oh my lord, we tried to get away.
hold on.
Manuel, pick something else.
Hold on, I've already started. I gotta finish. So in the book, there is this. There is okay. First of all, there's no monkey sexy, so don't worry, I'm not going there. But in the book, there's a scene where Tarzan, still monkey Tarzan, doesn't know what it's all through monologue. He's just thinking like an ape.
It's an ape, not a monkey, Manuel. There's a difference.
Oh my god. Well, they're apes, not monkeys, anyway. So. So
Oh,
anyways,
really?
he has the ape thing in his ape thinking in his head, and he kills a human. I can't remember why. Maybe it's a poacher, but he kills a human, and he's all like, "I'm gonna eat this human," because like that's what us apes do. We like eat meat. So he's about to eat this human, and something stops him because he realizes that he's like, "Wait, I'm about to cross a line here." He's like, "But why? I'm an ape. I eat apes that die." And TLDR, in this whole dialogue where he's like getting into his head about what's going on, he talks about like all the things he does as an ape, and basically he talks about like reaching maturity as an ape. So I'm pretty sure he fucked an ape. Is what I'm getting at. I'm pretty sure he had an ape wife.
It's not there.
And probably
You're
was
saying
confused.
It's not there. It's just implied.
It's implied that he was very much that he reached ape adulthood a long time ago, and he's like it should be an adult ape.
There's literally a meme of how everybody feels about Tarzan and Turk. It's literally everyone's doing the whole like, "Come on, dude, don't say that," and it's literally said just to trigger everybody.
But yeah, FYI, even by Edgar Rice Burroughs' logic, it's pretty likely. Like, I mean, he probably did it a long time before. Like as soon as he hit puberty, he was probably clapping those ape. Okay, I need to shut the fuck
Okay,
up.
Manuel, pick something else that happened in 2023.
Godzilla
Tarzan.
0.
Oh, there's a new Godzilla movie. I have yet to watch it, but I hear it's amazing. Godzilla minus one.
It was a lot of fun.
I
saw it recently with my girlfriend.
I
and
watched
friend.
The trailer online.
and it was so good from what I watched. I wanted to wait till I could watch it not on an illegal site that was a cam rip. So don't be Manuel, by the way.
I'm gonna dub over this, Manuel, and you just say you watched the trailer.
Oh, I watched the I watched the trailer. Anyway, it's good. It looks good, and I'm sad that there's no suit Godzilla anymore. I mean, it hasn't been since the last couple movies too, but still.
Why bring it up then? Just admit
Because
that
just the other day,
new
just the other-
CGI Godzilla looks good.
So I reviewed this game called Godzilla Voxel Wars a couple months back, and the official Godzilla Twitter reshared the review, and ever since then, the like I don't know if I followed it or if JD followed it, but ever since then we follow the Godzilla page on on the ADJ Twitter. So I see the Godzilla tweets every so often, and it reminded me that Godzilla Final Wars, which I fucking love that movie. I remember when it came out, everyone was kind of upset because it was like weird action, like not as much Godzilla. But Godzilla Final Wars was the last time that there was a suit Godzilla. I think that was like in 2006 or 4. And it's sad. We need bring back guys in giant suits smashing like little miniatures. Like
I
that's
mean,
half the
I'm
fun of
not opposed,
Godzilla.
but the market's just not like we've got to a point where everything looks like pretty good without having it be like
Well,
an
that's
XL Sentai like episode.
well, that's where I feel I'm a little okay because I know that the consensus used to be, and obviously this is kind of weird to say this because at the time it was only one movie, but the consensus was the Japanese ones are always in a suit and the American ones are always CGI. Even though once again that has not been the case like pretty much ever except like the 90s. Um, but um, like budgets are so different, between like Japanese blockbusters and American blockbusters. Like I just
Yeah.
feel like they're never gonna compare as a CG. Sure, it's better than what the fuck you saw like in Godzilla '98. Like anything's better than that, but it's like
Yeah.
they're just a whole. I don't know. If you ever watch, it's funny because some of the mid Godzilla movies, like in the '70s, look really cheap. But if you watch the original ones or the ones that are like from the 2000s, they look really good. And it's all like there was an art form to it. There was actually a dude who was like
There
killing himself in that suit, smashing things.
there is an art form to it, but you can't deny that there is a little bit of like jank that still comes from it. Like I'm not saying that the practical effects aren't
Everyone's
good. They're
talking about.
definitely better. they're they're definitely better. I'll agree. Like I couldn't take it seriously, and it's kind of hard when like going back. So I kind of like how things have gotten better. And besides, we can't go back. Ken Watanabe's dead canonically in the series. So like you can't it's the time is done. You got to say goodbye to Godzilla while he's still alive, and we should just be grateful for that. Even if it's kind of a retelling that messes up with the canon of what he's saying.
I want to point out. I unfortunately can't find all the pictures, but I still have the autograph. I had the pleasure of meeting Haruko. Nakajima is definitely his last name. I think it's Haruo, not Haruko. Haruo Nakajima, the original Godzilla suit actor. He's also a ton of other shit. He was like Anguirus and like fucking. I think he was a couple other monsters because it was just like a stunt guy. But
Mhm.
I met him at a Monster Palooza and he did an autograph. He misspelled my name, but whatever. He did an autograph, and I have a picture of him like stomping on it and everything. It's great. And like I didn't mean for him to, but I think he misunderstood me. He actually stomped on it, which is still kind of cool. I have Godzilla's footprint, like an accident, on my on my autograph. And
Uh,
that dude was like, I mean, he passed away unfortunately, but that dude was like so old, and he was still like Godzilla-ing around, like at all these conventions and shit like that. More power to, well, rest in peace. But yeah,
He should have had his own Birdman styled movie then.
well, there was this movie that came out, and I think he was there actually promoting it. There was this movie called Men in Suits. Really
Mhm.
good documentary, which I'm sure you cannot find anywhere because I bought it on DVD from like the people who made it at Monster Palooza. But there's a documentary called Men in Suits that's about suit actors, and a lot of it focuses on Godzilla. There's also some stuff by that. What's that dude's name? The skinny dude from Pan's Labyrinth. This guy, the eye guy. Um,
oh,
Wait, was that Skarsgård also?
no, Bill
No,
Nighy or whatever.
I don't
Is
know
it that
his
guy?
actor name. He's also the guy from Shape of Water.
Bill
Like,
Nighy.
is
Oh,
that his
okay,
name?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's different.
The
Different
actor
dude.
guy is
Different
all
dude.
that actor guy is all over the documentary too. I just know he does this. He's the eye guy from that's
Oh,
Pan's Labyrinth,
he does
right?
more than
Yes.
just hold the eyes in his hand.
I haven't
Well,
seen it,
everyone
so I have no idea.
everyone knows that image. But anyway, yeah, Godzilla. Like, you
Yes.
need to go watch it. You guys
He
are
lives in my nightmares.
you remember version of Godzilla was the best. I have not seen that. I did like the Godzilla cartoon. I'm not sure which cartoon you're talking about, Duluth God, but if you're talking about the one that was based on the American one, that one was good. The It's funny because the
Actually,
American
yeah,
Godzilla's
the continued series in that
yeah.
like crudely like I'm saying crude, but not like in a way where it's just kind of um like rough. I mean like it was very gritty. Like that cartoon, there was like a whole set of cartoons that came out during that Fox like cartoon
Mhm.
era that all had like a very similar
Kong
animation.
had one too,
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I can't remember for tight but I know Kong had a cartoon. Oh shit, that sorry, that drops the thing. But Kong had a cartoon around the same time. But what's cool about the Godzilla one was that he fought other monsters, which is something he
Mhm.
didn't do in the fucking
In
movie.
the
I
US
mean, he didn't do it
movie,
in the
yeah.
original
And
movie either.
aliens.
So
Also fought aliens.
also, Manuel, I'm
Well,
sorry, I was wrong. It wasn't Bill Nye. It was Doug Jones.
there you go, Doug Jones. This guy.
Yeah, that guy was Doug Jones.
I just
I
know that
didn't realize he was also in The Shape of Water. Was my problem.
I watched that with a friend of mine, Shape of Water, in theaters, and like this is a friend of mine who is like very uncomfortable with like sex scenes on screen, and that's understandable. I'm not like making fun of her for that. But I remember if you ever watch that movie, that there's a character who's like kind of weird, and not even the sex scene between like the main girl and the fucking not that there is one, but like not that little love story, but there's that one dude who's like who has that very 50s wife, and he's like kind of like dominant to her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there were some
Yeah.
really awkward sex scenes, and point is that was one of the most awkward theater experiences of my life
I can
because
imagine, especially given what happened between woman and fish in that film.
do
When
they
you
fuck? I
when you
can't
see
remember that.
the
Yes, they
when you
do.
see the rating and what you're going in for, you should have already been prepared.
Well, I mean, I didn't. Okay, I assumed that the fish and the girl were gonna fuck, but I didn't know there'd be that weird subplot where like the dude was like basically being quasi dominatrixy and everything like that. I didn't know that was gonna happen. That was By the way, spoiler alert if you ever seen that movie.
Okay, Manuel.
Nah, there
You
was
know how
there
we
was
started?
more of that technically in everywhere. What's it called? Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that movie. I heard it's good though.
yeah.
It's
Re-
great.
Remember when?
Phenomenal. It
That's at
earned
least
that
closer.
Oscar
That was
straight
last
up.
year. We were trying to talk about 2023 with Godzilla -1. Then we
Yeah,
got
well, I'm trying to
sidetracked
talk about
by
the Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a war.
Go ahead. I'll let you
What?
go about your let you do your like Godzilla review real fast. Go ahead. It's a more what?
Okay, it's what's it called? Sticking to the theming about how Godzilla is an allegory for the nuclear bomb. It literally just occurs like right as World War II for Japan is ending. And like right off the gate, we don't have to have this whole buildup. Godzilla just straight up shows up, like within the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie, and it's just acknowledged as a thing that's part of Japan. It's not necessarily a nuclear thing, but it's also not like his hulking like titan like ass like giant form that we know of. It's literally just like some random dinosaur that's just hanging out in one of the islands off of the southern end of Japan, and it builds for a different type of allegory, especially with like the type of issues that Japan was going for, what they were trying to justify on their part in the war, and then ultimately having to come to a conclusion that like not just in their defeat, but also that like some of the things they did, like nothing anyone did was good during war. I want to point that out.
Yeah.
Everyone did something really fucked up, but this ended up being part allegory, but then the other part is having to come to grips with like the hand that they were dealt in this whole situation and want to improve on that. And they make like this wartime film out of it, and it's really good. The main character is like a kamikaze fighter who did not want to kamikaze, and literally Godzilla shows up, wrecks shit, and everybody's like, "Well, you were a coward and you didn't like die for your country, but like you could totally help us kill Godzilla." And this guy's like, I don't know if I can. And so like he feels guilty because he couldn't save some people. And then the whole movie is just him dealing like Godzilla as an allegory feels very much more like in your face in this movie than initially just it being a metaphor. And as it goes on, it's really good. It's really good. It was really funny because a friend of mine took his like family to watch the movie, and they were like, we weren't aware that it was in subtitles, and my ass was like, oh right, the whole movie was subtitled. I didn't even think that. I literally was just kind of like, oh man, this movie's so intense and great. I love it. And I'm just like, oh right. Oh, okay.
I mentioned this before, and I don't know if this is a hot take to have, because obviously there's accessibility reasons, and if that's the reason why you watch it, then fine. But I've mentioned this many times in the past. One of the uh, I can like I can get behind dubs of like anime because for those that don't know, unlike American animation, like it's usually dubbed afterwards anyway for whatever reason, in all
Oh,
languages.
they do a good job. They do a good job.
But I can't fucking stand dubbing movies, and I never
No,
have. And I'm like, why the fuck
it
do
does feel a
people
little
do it
weird.
in
It
any
feels awkward
language?
when they dub live action, like not just its movies. Like I had the same issue when like there were people saying stuff like, "Oh my gosh, if you listen to Squid Game, Squid Game
Oh
when it
fuck!
was like
Thank you.
available, so everybody
Oh my
was
god!
what
I That's
like
the worst one.
the
That's how this
first half of the
conversation came
meme
up.
became this sounds so bad. It's just kind of like just watch it in Korean. Like it's like none of the
Okay,
seriousness is taken away.
I don't know if you knew this or if or maybe this because I happen to borrow a friend's Netflix account, but so I don't
Yeah.
know if they have a setting that I don't know. But whenever I load up anything on Netflix, it defaults to the fucking dub. Like, and it's fucking obnoxious. I'm like, who the fuck wants to watch this in a bad dub? And I don't care what the fuck you say. There is not a dub versus sub argument in live action. I don't fucking care. I will
Oh
die
no,
on
there
this
is
hill. I
one.
will.
There is
There.
one. There
No,
is one. It's
fuck
called
it. Unless it's
it's called
accessibility.
it's called Black Mask.
Yeah.
Black Mask is the
No,
best.
but if it's an accessibility reason, then fine. I'll get around it. I'll live with it. But if you're fucking watching a dubbed live action movie, something is wrong with you. There, I said it.
Well,
We're using the counter
there's
today.
sometimes some things wrong with me, but it's only sometimes. I just remember watching like live action movies in different languages that were originally made in English in different languages.
It's actually annoying because like a lot of times people want to preserve the dubs for like wacky reasons, nostalgia reasons. Like a good example is the Godzilla movies. A lot of people want to preserve these dubs, but a lot of them would also edit the movies. So like you typically have to have two versions of the movie, like the actual one and the dub. And then sometimes there's like three versions because then they have to dub the movie again because now they're releasing. Don't fucking dub movies. Don't do it. Don't do it, guys. Please.
I will agree with you. Like, but what I'm trying to say is like in that little less bit of a detail, I want to point out how where I was saying that I couldn't take Godzilla in the suit
Kung
like
fu movies are lame.
seriously, like especially in those older movies. And I will say the practical effects were good during the 2000s when they were they were trying to say like 98 sucked. I guess I do understand that part of the reason why there were new Godzilla movies came out kind of was because of 98 coming out and Japan just feeling like disrespected. So um cool beans. The practical effects were better in those movies, but just in general with where they've gone CGI and especially in this new movie, like I like it way better than Shin Godzilla. I feel that even though I feel that it took a lot of extra like CGI pointers from the American Godzilla movies that came out.
I
Um
don't like to give him a little head. That's a random thing to say, but like I feel like that's a holdover because when it's a suit, they have to have a physically bigger head.
yeah,
To match a human's anatomy. I don't know why that's the
yes.
first thing they do. All the movies do this. As soon as they go CGI, they give him a little head. They give him a tiny head and this giant thick ass neck and like I don't
I
know
would
why
say,
that
but
is.
I would say just check out this one. Like it was
I mean,
really good.
I'm
I
going to for
enjoyed it.
sure.
It's
Like
completely no nonsense, and there's some really good. Well, I'm not saying that there weren't in the other movies. I'm just saying that the character, like especially because sometimes I feel like when I watch some of the other ones, I just want to see monsters beat the fuck out of each other. But for this one being just no nonsense war type movie, it's good. I really enjoyed the characters that were there, and I didn't feel like for a moment there that I wasn't taking this seriously. I honestly felt kind of like, yeah, this is how I would feel if there was literally a giant hulking monster that was like going to destroy everything. Like genuinely, it felt very immersive.
but yeah, I will agree. Like I mean, there is a wackiness, especially talking about they mentioned kung fu movies. There is a wackiness to dubs. Like I love watching some of the old like Chinese Journey to the West or Three Kingdom shows dubbed, and they have like I hope to God they're not just white people doing an Asian accent. I'm sure they are, but like, there's always I'm not going to mimic the voices because I'm not going to
Thank you,
get
Manuel.
canceled.
Just,
But
just
like, there is a
watch.
wackiness to them when some of the shit they say. But also, there's some weird translations. It's like, oh, high and mighty this because they're just like translating some of the untranslatable words and shit like that. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, tongue.
Did you watch Wish?
Oh.
Did you watch
You
Wish? We
you
were
mean
talking about Disney
the
before.
worst
Tell us about
Disney
Wish.
movie ever? The worst
Tell
Disney
us
movie
about
ever?
Wish.
Oh my
It's your
god.
time.
It's not good.
You have
It's not good.
your
I,
unfiltered
I
rant.
didn't
Go.
even I didn't even know it was meant to be. Okay, first of all, it was so bad. And I started watching it and I was like, I thought, okay, I watched
It in the
I'm
theater.
not sure if it's on Disney Plus.
No, it's not. Still in theaters, Manuel.
But I watched it
In the theater.
and I'm like, oh, this is a new movie because it was Cam. And I'm like, oh, this is a new movie, but it's terrible. The music is bad. There is
You really
music.
should have watched it in theaters. Its attendance was atrocious. When I
Yeah.
was there, me and my girlfriend literally had the theater to ourselves for at least half an hour. Which, second off, who the fuck enters a movie half an hour in? That was stupid. They should have never come in. That was like me and my girlfriend's theater.
I saw a
for-
TikTok on this yesterday. I don't know if this is your case, but I never knew this was a thing. I saw a TikTok on this. Like, apparently some theaters turn off movies if no one's in there after 30 minutes. But the TikToker guy was mentioning that there's Karens who are like, I want the movie half off because I already missed a half hour of it. And I don't know if that's, well, obviously if he's saying it, and I believe like any retail person telling horror stories, that apparently that happens a lot. And I wonder if you had that happen to you. There was a Karen who's like, I want to pay half off. I only want to pay $7 or whatever the fuck a movie ticket costs these days.
Oh my
Movie tickets are
God.
too expensive, by the way. That's actually my big takeaway because there's a huge discussion right now about how Disney's actually the poster child of it. There's a huge discussion how every movie's bombing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there's the obvious answer. Everyone has said it, and I'll just say it again. There's too many big blockbusters. Like there were never this many before. Like they fucking keep like
Wait,
there's
but why did you still go see Oppenheimer and the Barbie movie?
because it was a meme. And you can't make that. You can't.
War
Okay,
crimes are a meme to you? Are you saying war crimes are a meme?
okay. I saw. I actually never saw Oppenheimer in theaters. I mentioned this in the past. I was going to go, but I never actually went. I saw Barbie,
What
and
is wrong with you?
I didn't see the double feature.
That's
I mentioned
really
this.
unbelievable.
We did an episode, I think, with Merle that when we mentioned the Barbie thing, and I'm like, I didn't actually do a double feature. I just went to go see Barbie, and I'm like, I'm gonna go see Oppenheimer this weekend. And if you want the follow up to that story, I never did. I did see it because I fucking watched.
On Blu-ray.
But
Oh my
I know.
okay.
I'm gonna have to do a lot
You're
of
not
editing.
allowed. You're not allowed to say that like, oh my gosh, why are theaters empty and like nobody goes to that and you're like
that's what I was
bootlegging.
gonna say.
You
I was
can't.
gonna say that.
No.
I was gonna say that next. It's like I hate the theater, and I've been no secret to this. I hate the theater experience.
You're true.
I
No, that's
I was
totally
so
valid.
I was so happy when okay, let me hear my whole sentence out, though. I was so happy when the pandemic happened and it felt like theaters were going to be one of the big casualties. I was like, thank God. It's like something comes out of this horrible tragedy because I fucking hate theaters. They are the worst way you could ever watch a movie. They are a relic from the past. They do not belong in modern times. Um who the fuck likes watching? I honestly feel like it's
I
a very
do.
nostalgic. It's a nostalgic thing. I don't think anyone wants to go to the theaters
I
because
do.
like
I do.
there-
Especially when I have a whole ass
but
fucking
see,
theater to myself,
you
or
guys are old.
it's a
We're
whole
all
theater
older
full of
here.
hype people.
We're all older here, but like there are TikToks about this, about like younger people like Gen Zers who are like, why are millennials and like and Gen X are so obsessed with theaters? It's like I just want it on streaming, and it's like yes, I agree.
Because
Like,
they
don't
have a much better screen and sound system than I could ever hope to afford.
That actually is part of the reason. I was gonna say that also.
it like you know how many times I've been in the theater and like first of all, I have the attention span of a fucking like drunk cat, like a hyper kitten or by a better example, like like if I fucking, and I know this is a terrible way to watch a movie because like there was an old saying that I remember, like I went to film school. That was one of the film professors was always like, you could only watch a movie the first time once, like like the whole talk about like don't pause it, don't interrupt it, don't like eat during it. First of all, like with the exception of pausing it, people do all that shit in theaters. But like, I don't know. I fucking want to pause it, get up, rewind it, turn on subtitles. Um, I can't stand fucking children in like. You know how many movies have been ruined by children? Even
Okay,
when
no,
I was a
will
child.
agree. I will agree. I was watching Wish with my girlfriend, okay, and the family came in half an hour late, and we were just kind of whatever. But we honestly want to just like let our opinions continue to go free. Part of the reason is that Wish is just also not funny, where it
Touch
wants to be
grass.
funny.
It's making fun of me. Sorry, reading the chat. The chat. Keep going.
No, it's okay. Um, Wish is just not funny where it tries to be funny, but oh my god, every time cue joke, okay, just cue joke occurs, um, this kid behind us laughed. But it wasn't like, like a natural laugh that you want to enjoy. It's like the type of laugh that makes you feel like you're actually watching just a children's film and you want to like get
Strangle
up
the kid.
and like tell that kid to shut the fuck up. That was not funny. Shut the fuck up. You don't know. I'm like judging this kid on a children's film because that's actually what it is. Like Wish is like not a family movie. It is
I went.
just a children's like yeah.
I remember I went to go see Zootopia with a friend in my friend Garway like opening weekend. Well, you met Garway. I think all of you met Garway, but she's never been on the podcast. Anyways, I went to go see Zootopia on opening weekend, so it was like a packed theater, and it was a
Yeah.
cool movie. It was fun seeing it, like friend and everything like that. We had dinner afterwards and everything. It was a cool time, but the fucking movie, it was like. And I know it's a kids movie, and Manuel sounds like a fucking idiot for saying this.
That's a
But there were
family movie.
there were so many kids laughing every so often that I was just like, that kid has an annoying laugh. I want to walk over to him and be like, you have a fucking annoying laugh. Don't laugh ever again. Um, that kid, a fucking ton of kids started crying at random moments, and not because anything was happening in the
Aw,
movie. I mean, like, because kids just cry sometimes.
yeah.
Um,
Wait, are you
and
talking
I'm
about kids
like,
or baby?
they weren't one. I mean, these are like we're talking toddler cries, baby cries. First of all, don't take a baby to a theater. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. The baby's not watching the movie. Get the fuck. Stay home. Your baby's gonna like. Aren't you not supposed to take babies out like that often? Can they get sick? I don't know. But a toddler, like, don't fucking do it. Don't do it. I just hate
Yeah, no, I
theaters. I
agree.
can't stand it. And like, haven't you ever
I
been in? And not even talking about kids. Haven't you been in a theater like a horror movie or something where you have those annoying people in the audience? And by the way, I'm gonna be honest with
okay,
you. I was that annoying person when I was younger. I was
um,
like,
okay, I'm
don't
gonna
go in the
point out
room. She's a stupid bitch. you know?
I'm gonna point out I never had that in a theater where there was like the annoying person. Um, I did have that happen. Okay, it was in a theater, but I was at a rock event. Okay, and Paris was still big because she had that song. What's it called? Uh, that one where she's like sick. You get me? But she's talking about how she's sick of her relationship. My house, my house. You know that
Oh,
one?
okay. Yeah.
Okay, so she's singing My House, but it's an acoustic show. So she's there on stage. She's high as fuck. Okay, like she's so we're gonna get the best version of this song. Okay? It sounds good. Except I hear something annoying from like one end of the auditorium, and it's this drunk motherfucker who will not shut the
It's
fuck up
manual.
because he's like ruining the song. And you know what's terrible? Here's the worst part about it. Okay, the Struts had just like this is when they were really popular for their song. It could have been me. And what was going on was at this show in particular, fucking Bakersfield, at this show in fucking Bakersfield. What they did was they were actually recording the live performance of the acoustic version of their song. It went on the local radio. It was awesome. I'm upset because when they were playing the acoustic version of My House, some motherfucker was screaming so goddamn loud. I'm pretty sure he fucking trashed it for everyone. I was so mad. I was like,
Did
bro,
it-
we could have had like such a good version, and this guy just ruined it. Okay, and I'll stick back to like if you literally had short of you ruining it for other people, Manuel, but like if there were other people ruining a movie for me and I literally had to watch like No Way Home and there was someone actively ruining No Way Home for me. First off, that wouldn't happen because everyone in the theater would do the whole like Agatha Christie, we killed them. We all took part in it, so none of us are guilty, and we'll leave it be.
I remember I went to go see either it was The Others or The Village, and I know those are two very different movies.
Yeah.
But they were horror, and I remember I went to go see
Yeah.
The Others or The Village in theaters when I was young, like early high school, middle school age. And Callie likes to make a joke that this little group of friends of mine was a gang, and I don't know if that's true or not, but we did get into fights and shit like that all the time.
Ali was in
Um,
a gang. have
but,
to
but
tell
she's
you that every day.
yeah.
She was in a gang.
No. Callie says that I was in a gang because Callie's always like, "Wait, you had a group of friends that would fight another group of friends," and I'm like,
Yeah, that's a
it's
gang
not what you
manual.
said anyway."
Were you the
It
Jets
wasn't
or the
as org-
Sharks?
Yeah, it wasn't that organized anyway.
Get it right.
So anyways, we're in this like, my little gang friends and I were watching either The Others or The Village, and I'm sure we snuck in by the way, just because we're fucking delinquents.
You. Oh
And
my gosh.
and we were being so obnoxious during the movie that this dude who was like on a date, well, I assume it was a date because he was there with the woman, but he was like older, like buff ass guy. He got up. It got so bad that he got up and he was gonna kick our asses. And I'm not gonna lie, all of us were like, there was like four of us. We were like scrawny kids. Like he could really kick our asses. Probably all four of us. But our TLDR, we almost started to fight. We all got kicked out of that movie. And I don't know if everyone else got refunded or got those little the readmit passes, but we ruined that movie for everyone. And that's, to be honest, that's the worst story. But like, I've been in movies where similar stuff has happened. You know, everyone's like, "Don't go to a movie with Manuel." Apparently, like I'm just.
That
Yeah,
was
okay.
God giving you karma. That was God giving you karma for fucking
Is that why
Manuel.
every movie has to be bad for me from now on?
Yes.
Like I went to go see. I can't
Yeah,
remember the name
it's
of that vampire. It was this vampire movie that came out with Ed Neal, and like the vampire was named Edward. And I remember everyone was making fun of that because it's like this is around Twilight. I can't remember what the fuck the name of this movie was. I went to go see this vampire movie, and I remember like there was this couple, like not couple, but like these two friends who were sitting, and it was a very empty theater, who were sitting in
Yeah.
front of like me and my then girlfriend, and we were there on a quasi date, and like they just kept talking the whole fucking movie, like just like to the movie, like, "No, what are you doing?" Like, "No," it's like, like at one point they put a tracking device on him. It's like, "Oh, they're tracking you!" Like, I just remember that specifically. I'm like, "Oh my god, shut the fuck up!"
Oh, wait, hold up. We have the best moment. Okay, we have the best moment of anything like that, okay? You okay. Did you go to theaters to watch Homecoming?
Homecoming?
Spider-Man Homecoming, I'm assuming.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh,
Did you go to
no.
theater?
I did watch a lot of, to be honest, the only things I've watched recently are Marvel movies, but Homecoming was not one of them.
Okay, no. Here's what you missed out on. Okay, so remember how Peter's gonna go on a date to the prom? Okay,
Yeah.
and he goes to the house, and you know how there's the that's where the reveal comes out that Michael Keaton is the dad. Okay,
Yeah. Did they
okay.
make
So here's what you missed out in theaters. All right. And this was the only time where we allowed this because it was awesome. So
We
when the
allowed
dad opens the door, I went to go see the movie twice. The first time I saw it myself. The second time I took a friend because I was curious to see what would happen. When he opens the door, the entire audience like stopped breathing. Like everyone is quiet. Like the theater is so quiet. It's like you're watching a horror movie and everyone's like, just what the hell do we do? Okay. And like, it's very tense and all that. And then they're in the car together. And then in the car, the girl is starting to like give away little hints that the Michael Keaton's like starting to grow pretty too and stuff like that. And in both times where I was in the theater, someone, this one person, it's like we're in a church and they're that one guy who always says like glory to the priest when they say like, I don't know, something like sacred. What's it called? There's always this one guy who suddenly in the middle of it goes when she keeps on giving the details, and like Tom Holland's looking fucking scared in the back seat, and there's one guy always goes, "Bitch, shut the fuck up."
Keep your mouth shut, Liz.
the fucking
No one complained. Literally, I think they were baiting that because they hold on to it so long. And even my friend was right next to me, and she was the one who was like, "Shut the fuck up."
I wish I wish I had cool moments like that. I went to go see both end games. I don't know what they're called, end games.
Infinity
But
War and
both,
Endgame.
There you go. I went to go see both those Last Avengers movies. I went to go see the Sonic. No, not the Sonic movie. I went to go see the last Star Wars movies, all of them. Actually, I didn't watch the second
Yeah.
one in theaters. I remember one of the few good theater moments I had in my life. I remember when I watched the prequels. That's how fucking old I am, by the way. I saw episode 1 in theaters. I was really young though. Not really young, but I was in middle school for sure.
Theaters too.
But I
Manuel,
remember I saw
why'd you have to
one-
watch them? You lived through the Star Wars. You're that old.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Star Wars happened a long time ago. But anyways,
Oh shit, you're that old.
I need
there's
to
a
add that to the
line-
Manuel so old
there's
jokes.
the line when like okay, because they introduced R2D2, like he's trying to repair the ship and they're killing all the other R2 units and he's the only one that survives. And at the end, the I forget her name, Amidala's like commander person is like, it's like, oh, what's this robot's number or whatever the fuck. He's like, R2D2, and the whole fucking theater erupted. The whole theater was just like cheering. It was like, what the fuck? That's one of the few moments I remember, like I remember really happening. Like the whole fucking theater like just lost
Listen,
it.
you have-
Also, I went to go see Chainsaw Massacre in theaters with my then high school girlfriend. And
The remake, right?
The one with, yeah, well, not that one. Yeah, the remake, the Michael Bay one. And there's a scene when, like, spoiler alert, by the way, when like when Leatherface is killing her boyfriend. And like at some point, like something falls out of his pocket and he picks it up and it's like, well, Leatherface sees this, the girl never sees this, and it's the ring. It's a ring because he's gonna ask her to marry her at some point. And I think Leatherface just throws it away or something like that. And the whole fucking theater just like, oh, like, you know, like sighs and like awes because how upset they were that Leatherface just killed this dude who was gonna propose to his girlfriend during this thing, and now he's dead. And then he wears his face later on, when he goes to like kill her again. He doesn't kill her though.
Moral of that story: just
So,
stay
like-
out of Texas.
Yeah, just don't go to Texas
Yeah,
ever.
stay out of Texas. Stay the fuck
Yeah.
out of Texas.
Okay, we're going long. Do you guys want to wrap up 2023 with anything?
Don't go to
Okay,
theaters.
hold up. After
Theaters are too
after you
expensive.
even admit you can have some great one-off moments in theaters should underlie all the extra negatives that you have said. But here's the other thing, though. Here's the other thing. First off, yes, I'm being facetious, but you didn't even talk about Wish. You didn't talk about Godzilla.
Oh,
Didn't
it's
really
sad.
talk about Barbie. You were just talking about how you bootleg or like.
I saw Barbie in
Pretty much
theaters, and I liked Barbie. I paid. That's the only movie.
Okay,
Actually, I
Manuel,
think
if you're
I'm
going
lying.
to see either of those in theater, you really should have seen Oppenheimer in theater. I think.
I mean, I agree because Oppenheimer. I can't remember that Christopher Nolan is one of those fuckers who I fucking hate. He's all like, "I don't make these movies so you can watch at home." So
To be
he
fair,
makes
I
them
think he
all,
did
like,
that with the Blu-ray release of this one.
So he makes the movies like impossible to hear and like shit like that. And I'm like, I can't stand people like that. I can't stand, like, it's the whole like, ooh, it's the it's like an extension of like the auteur type thing where it's all like, bro, these are movies for the masses. Get the fuck off your high horse. Like, stop trying to act like, you know, stop making your movies in 84K ultra super
Okay.
like super narrow
Stay with-
widescreen and stop making your things in 75.1 direct audio sound that only 3 theaters in the world can ever play. Shut the fuck up. Put down picture movie. What pisses me off is that, like, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you go on like the torrent sites, most of them are like hard, like invite only. You can find versions of all these movies, these big blockbuster movies that you can actually fucking hear. That fans will remix themselves to make them actually listenable, where the dialogue's loud and the explosions aren't fucking insane. And
Listen,
fans
you're
shouldn't
just-
have to do
you
that.
Just like to dig your hole deeper about, like, one, all of your illegal sites, and then two, invite only illegal sites. Like bro,
Fair. No,
Bro,
I think that's
you're
a different
making
story.
it seem like it's so much harder. I might as well just pay like $11 goddamn dollars to just watch the movie
You can't
now.
tell me that you guys haven't experienced. Well, okay, theaters is a different story because it's going to be loud. But if you're at home, you guys can't tell me you haven't watched a movie where everyone's like whispering. So you put the volume up to max, and then suddenly you blow out your speakers and like go deaf because when something explodes, it's like
You
fucking a
have
million
subtitles on at
decibels.
the same- That's why you have subtitles on at the same time.
Also, I
Manuel
just don't
doesn't
play
like
movies
West
that loud.
because he thinks he's a better fit.
Okay.
Tutorial, yeah.
Persona is winning. 2023 was another great victory for Atlas, and so will 2024. So yeah, those are
It's
my
funny
Okay.
because like
2020.
I can't wait for
Also-
Persona 6, and I can't wait for Shin Megami Tensei 6 or 7. 6 already came out,
Yeah,
right? 5? No, 6.
Five.
6. I was right
wait,
the
no,
first
no,
time.
you're right. Six would be the next one.
We
Five
need
came
to
out.
move. I mean, 5 came out recently, so I guess I shouldn't talk about SMT 6 yet. But I'm just tired of the Persona 5 like rehashes. Like, hasn't it been like? I feel like that game's been like 10 years old
gonna
because that
take
game was out when Ada J was starting. So I'm like, how old is that game?
That game
16?
came out in Japan 2016.
So
We
yeah, I was
got it
right. So it's
2015.
9 years. I can't
7.
math. Sorry, 7. Yeah, I can't math. Sorry. I'm like, whoa, man, you need to get a calculator. But it's 7. It's 7 and some change old. Can we please move on from it?
No, we can't move on from it. It needs to have its time in the spotlight. We're just bringing Persona 3 back for its remake. Persona
I'm
4
over.
was the one that got milked up to high heaven with good content, which is what
I
led
love
other
4.
people to feel like we need more. Yeah, no, 4 is my favorite. 4 is the best.
Plus, we still need Persona 5 Arena.
Oh, you're right.
The
Please,
fighting
We're still
game.
waiting for it.
Put that out. Put that out later. Put that out when fucking 6 is out. I just fucking want a new Persona. All I know is that it's funny because I actually never played 5 to the end. I've played 5 a couple times. I can't really get into it.
Why haven't you finished it?
I don't like it that much. I don't know. I just don't like it as much as the other Personas. I don't know if that's a hot take to have.
I could
Well,
No, I could
I-
agree.
it's
Like
not a
there are
bad
some
game.
things about the 5th game I don't like as much.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. It's just there's just parts of it I don't like. I've also never liked the Persona series as much as I like Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, you're gonna be that person. You're gonna be that fucking person.
And I don't want.
now.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're a fucking noob because you only like Persona 5. But I don't really care. For once, I'm not gatekeeping. For once, I'm not.
for
gatekeeping.
once.
I'll admit, but I still like Shin
You
Megami
can't
Tensei more.
gatekeep. Shin Megami Tensei literally keeps people out. You literally have to like bust down the gates to like
Dude, I fucking
be
love
like-
4, and 4. If I said this
4 is
before in the
amazing.
past, Shin Megami Tensei 4. I didn't actually look at any of the pre-release material, so I'm not sure if this was revealed there. I'm sure it had to have been, but I mentioned this before. I didn't know that game took place in like a futuristic Tokyo because it doesn't
So
start
that's
there.
the rug pull. That's the rug
Yeah,
pull.
it starts as if like you're in this like this fantasy-esque setting, and then you climb a tower and you come out like on Tokyo Tower is like you come out in, and I was like, what the fuck? It blew my mind. And then the game really starts because that opening part was just like the first 5-6 hour prologue bullshit. But yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
There is no Shin Megami Tensei without like being in a post-apocalyptic
Exactly.
Tokyo.
I just assumed that this was so far in the future that like Tokyo was gone. That this is like it went so far forward it went back the other way kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyway,
it kind
we're-
of does.
Do we want to
depending
wrap up
on the ending.
2023?
hopefully theaters go away forever.
Hopefully, Persona 6 and Shin Megami Tensei 6 come out
Okay,
sometime soon.
no, actually, I have the perfect wrap up, and this is non-controversial. This is a real opinion. I just feel
Okay.
that it's weird that the movie market in the U.S., which I guess is the biggest part of the movie market in the world, that the movie market
Yeah.
in the
Well,
U.S.
it depends on
is
how you
so-
define it.
is so focused on theatrical shit these days. It feels like it's such an archaic way. It's like it's such a boomer way to think of things. Like I get the theaters being a thing, but it should be more of a novelty, another avenue, a special experience. Like I don't think it's. I don't think it's. I mean, it's not even. I don't think it's definitely not the same thing as like it used to be when you'd have to go see a first run movie there. People need to get with the times. Figure out a way to just put that shit on. Honestly, I would pay a lot more. Like that ship has sailed though. Now that I have
The patience of a saint.
the ship has sailed. But if they had put some of this stuff more like just straight up legally like available. Remember when HBO Max was doing that during the pandemic?
Yes.
I had an HBO Max subscription, and like shit like that. Like I would fucking still pay for this shit. But like, you want to know why I had a fucking, why I'm waiting for Godzilla -1 to be there? I'm not gonna fucking watch it in theaters, and I'm gonna fucking, and there's no other way for me to legally watch it. And the ship is sailed. They could do it now, and I won't care because I'm too used to
Watching it legally on streaming services.
Don't come after me, movie theaters and movie companies. Stay
Don't worry,
away from
Manuel.
me,
I'll edit
Sony.
that part out. They'll never know.
Okay, Sony. Top Gun is. I can't even-
It's like those seats that move and shake. I saw Inception like that. It was a really interesting experience.
Oh, the 4D bullshit. Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like D-box. D-box sounds sexual. Just gonna say. But then again, I'm a hoe, like we said at the beginning of the show.
Okay, yeah,
remember?
Josh, your final thoughts on 2023?
It was indeed an interesting year. A lot of ups and downs. Hoping that next year will be a little more stable. and I'm looking forward to great prospects. Yeah.
Yes, let's all have a good 2024. Everyone go play. Wait, what the fuck game was I gonna say? I already lost my thought. Everyone go watch Godzilla minus one. Hopefully, like
That
they'll
was
put
good.
it on a site that's like not illegal. And message me for. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't
Dude,
worry,
this
JD,
is
I'm
a
not gonna say.
Toei thing. It's Toei. Literally fucking support it, man. Like, come
Anyway, guys,
on. Come
thank you for watching
on.
Ultra Podcast Z. Next Tuesday we'll be talking
Thangy.
Japan travel
Yeah.
memories with Fango, and yeah, tomorrow probably be more Final Fantasy 7, and then Friday will be more D&D drunk nonsense. And I think that's going to be the last D&D for the year. So actually, no, I'm lying. There's one more, I
No.
think.
Yeah, we'll probably have one on the 21st. Or sorry,
Yeah,
22nd.
sorry, my brain's stupid. And yeah, that's it. Peace
Oh,
out.
Josh, you got anything you want to promote before we peace out?
Catch me on Peak Filler Podcast. I'm gonna talk about Wish there with my girlfriend.
Oh
and
yeah,
then,
the Yu Yu Hakusho. We didn't even talk about that. Sorry, keep going.
and then
With your girlfriend.
Fotaku Network. So Fotaku Network and Peak Filler Podcast. Catch me there. YouTube and Instagram.
Night, everybody.